What happens when you get 22 frustrated racing drivers, put them in touring cars, and set them off on one of the fastest circuits in the world? Well, we're about to find out. Welcome back to the TRAC World Touring Car Championship. This time we have the Pro Class set to do battle for the first of their 10 rounds. We're back at Monza for the opening 3 races of the season with an almost full grid and speeds in excess of 160 miles an hour. All 3 races are sure to be action-packed. Before we can go racing, there's a small matter of the hot lap qualifying, so let's find out how they're going to line up for race number 1. So, pole position went the way of AMS Merckx in the Honda. TRAC John in the Audi RS3 lines up on P2. Sean S and Nathel in the BMW on row 2. Row 3 is TRAC Johnny in VRT Rattlesnake. Row 4 is Herbie in the Audi S3 and SVR Bradders in the first of the BMWs. Row 5 is TRAC Crow and SVR Birchie. Row 6 is British touring car driver Howard Fuller and LMP Stats in a BMW. Row 7 is an all Honda affair with Puglet X modified in its cream. Row 8 is all Chevrolets with DOR Craganon and McCloey Boy in 16th. Row 9 is DOR Luminic and Skunk Eye. Row 10 is Cassidy and LK Noble wearing the number 1 plate. And rounding out the 22 car field is DOR Snake Eye and TRAC Tongue. So they're down on the grid, ready to get going for race number 1. Lights come on. Out they go, away we go. Honda gets a decent start there. Watch the BMW on the outside. They're notoriously quick starting. The RS3 off the second row's also got a decent run there. But it looks like Nathel's got straight into the lead. So BMW 1, Honda 2, BMW 3 as they throw it over the curbs there. Sean just about gets the RS3 into 3rd place. And there's cars off the background, but Nathel leads. Merckx is there in 2nd. The RS3 of Sean is there in 3rd. Look at the gap they've got already over the chasing pack. The 87 out in front as you head towards 2nd chicane. That BMW such fast starting, getting a load of grip from the rear wheel drive. Didn't see the BMs in the AM class, but we definitely see them in the Pro as they're going 3 wide through the 2nd chicane. The Audi's all over the curbs. Just about holds on as you still got cars going 2 or 3 wide. Heading down into the Ascari chicane. This is TRAC John trying to get himself back up the field. Started on P2. He's got himself down in 5th position off the start. Little bit of curb, little bit of contact. He throws it over the curb. And that's the number 1 car of Noble from 20th place. He's got himself up into the top 10. Going around the inside of John before they even get to Parabolica. Fantastic start there from the number 1. Is he going to be able to get another car there as they head in towards Parabolica for the first time of asking? Hard on the brakes. Thinks about throwing the nose down the inside. Doesn't quite get the move done. But the BMW's run a little bit wide, so that's going to allow Noble to throw it down the inside. Maybe he'll get locked into the slipstream. Heading down the main straight for the first time of asking. These cars getting up to ridiculous speeds at the bottom of the straight before they head into the braking zone of turn number 1. Britt still Nathel up leads. Merckx is there in Merckx is up in 2nd as Noble's now going towards the outside of the 99 car. Locks up. Will he be able to hold it round the outside? That'll be a brave move if he can do it. As you can see that Sean now has a little bit of pressure at the front for Bradders. Oh, there's cars off the background. But Noble just about stays there. Let's see if we can see what happens to those cars in the background. You've got Herbie and Rattlesnake side by side as they head through the first chicane. A little bit of contact there with, I believe that's Birchie in the Rockstar BMW. Both of those are off, and then Herbie gets turned across the front of Johnny, that looks like, in the other Oreo Audi. So that's their day's run to start off with. Battle for the lead now. You've got Merckx down the outside of Nathel. This is going to be a good move if he can get it done. Nathel's run wide though. Bumping over the rumble strip. It's going to be a slow exit there. Will they hold on to 2nd place? But they're definitely not held on to 1st as Merckx has taken the lead in the Honda. So now we've got TRAC Crow coming under pressure from what looks like Noble. Noble's scything his way through the field already. The BMW is locked together as he heads towards Lesmo 2. Crow moves over to defend on the inside. Is Noble going to throw it around the outside? Not quite. But will he be able to get the cut back heading in towards Lesmo 2? He's got the nose down the inside. He chucks it down the inside of Lesmo 2. Is that going to be a position gain? Yes, it is. Crow moves down a position. Next target up for Noble is going to be his teammate Bradders in front of him. Will there be an element of team orders? We're not quite sure. But we're looking at Sean, who's now tagged onto the back of Crow. Is Crow about to lose another position heading through the Ascari chicane? And you've got LMP Stats trying to get into this fight as well. Throwing it over the curbs through the Ascari chicane, trying to get the best exit possible. The BMWs aren't quite as stable as the front-wheel drive cars as they head through that section of the track. Now it's the long drag towards Parabolica. This is where the RS3 is going to be tucked right into the slipstream of that BMW 125i. As they head towards the braking zone of Parabolica, you've got to think that Sean's going to chuck it down the inside here. thinks better of it, stays behind. The BMW gets a nice tight line in, with a little bit of contact maybe, as Crow's run a little bit wide, a little bit sideways. That's allowed the RS3 to get down the inside and get through by the looks of it. The BMW started to come back at them as they head over the start and finish line. That BMW definitely has some decent top end speed there compared to the RS3. But now you've got Stats has a double draft on the pair of them now as he head towards the first chicane. See Noble's cleared off in the distance already. Sean is still on the inside there. Lock up from Crow in the BMW. Sean just about hangs on. Crow goes to the cutback, still side by side as he head towards Curva Grande. But this battling is just bringing Stats into this fight. They head towards Curva Grande now. Crow looks like he's just got the jump on the Audi. Just about does in the Metaclad car. But heading down into the second chicane, Sean's now got to think about Stats throwing a lunge down the inside. So he's got to attack and defend at the same time. Stats think better of it, but look at the front. Noble's already got onto the back of his teammate. Bradders and Noble already running nose to tail. The smart thing for these guys to do now will be to work together and try and catch up to Nathel and Merckx at the front of this field. You see the gap's not too far, but they head through Les Mode 2. Got to think there may be a little bit of team orders going on between these two. Noble might just have the pace to get past Bradders nice and cleanly, but the key thing here for the two teammates is not to take each other out. But the smart thing for these guys to do is going to be run nose to tail like they are now. Try and use two cars, two engines to close up onto the back of Nathel in second place. A little bit of a slide there for Bradders on the way out of the Ascari chicane. You've got to think that's going to allow Noble to have a run. He moves out the slipstream. The pair of them are side by side. You've got to think Bradders isn't going to really defend this one. Even though these guys are teammates, they will be racing for themselves, and Noble has the move done before they head into Parabolica. So that's freed Noble up to try and go for a shot on second place. Behind, though, you've got Sean and Crow going at it still. Even though these guys are teammates, Bradders is not going to let Noble get away with this one. The pair are still side by side as they head down the main straight, back into the braking zone of turn number 1. These guys need to work together here. Fighting is not going to help them. We saw how much fighting can slow you down with the Crow and Sean battle. But Bradders there seem to think that discretion is the better part of valor. His teammate goes through. He's not going to fight it too hard. But you can see behind, Crow has managed to get himself past the Audi behind. So will he be able to factor into this fight? Now the pair of BMs have to work together to try and close up. Further back, we got a little bit of contact there. It looks like Rattlesnake versus John as they head down towards the Ascari chicane. The guy's going 3 wide, 4 wide. This is a 5-6 car fight as they head towards Ascari. Sorry, this is going to be a case of last of the late breakers. There isn't really room to go too wide through here. The Honda is a little bit sideways, throwing it over the curbs, caught straight back up onto the back of the Chevrolet. Sideways to the BMW. That's Johnny's off wide over the curbs. He's going to lose a lot of positions there. Looking at the 45 Honda right in the slipstream of McCloy as they head down towards Parabolica. The Chevrolet moves over to take the normal racing line. Is the Honda going to fancy its dive straight down the inside? Yes, he does. The Chevrolet runs a little bit wide. That's going to put the 45 Honda up a position. But the Retro Vectra Chevrolet is not going to go down without a fight. They're still side by side as they head down towards turn number 1 across the line. But it is the Honda that just about has the legs on the Chevrolet, or does it? The Chevrolet's come back down the outside. This is going to be a last of the late breakers move into turn number 1. The outside line's definitely the one you want to be on to try and get the cutback maneuver. Chevrolet comes across the front, just about hangs on to the position, but the pair is still side by side. You've got cars spat out towards the scenery in the background. Still side by side though. That Chevrolet's really good off the corners as they head towards Curva Grande. The Honda's on the inside, so that might just about give the Honda the legs. So Howard Fuller now trying to defend. He's down in P number 10. He's got one of the Chevrolets for company. As they head down towards Ascari, that Holford's Auto Centre Liverpool livery is definitely ours. A car off of the barriers there. We like through it. We're okay. As we head around the outside of Howard Fuller, you've got to think the British touring car man isn't going to let that position go, and it's not. He's running the Chevrolet out towards the gravel as much as he can, and Fuller just about hangs on. That Chevrolet has got decent top-end speed compared to the RS3. Might be running a little bit less wings. And this DOR Snake Eyes heading down the inside of the Parabolica as they head towards. He's just about got the legs on Fuller, but Fuller breaks a little bit later. He's going to try and go around the outside of the corner. Trying not to run too wide. Pair made side-to-side contact. They head out the Parabolica. Fuller's not going to lie down. Despite being a real racer, not a sim racer, he's not letting this position go. Fuller's in the slipstream now as he heads towards the first chicane, but it's Snake Eyes who's got himself in front. Let's find out what happens to that car. We're riding on board now with, I believe this is Skunk Eye in the Mercedes. You've got Ingram in front of you, and he's just made contact as it head towards the start-finish line. He's contacted behind by a few of the other cars. That's the other Chevrolet of DOR Craggadon that's got into that battle as well. So that's what happened to the Honda that was spat out towards the barriers. So Stats now has 2 cars behind him trying to hold off the Audi, off the pair of Audis there. A little bit of a slide on from the BMWs. He headed out of the second chicane. That's going to allow the Oreo cars now to come in around the outs and the inside of Lesmo 1. The pair of they've made contact. The pair of them are off. That's the Oreo car in the gravel. The Olin's car's in the gravel as well. No one's been able to touch AMS Mercs in the Honda. He comes towards the start-finish line to take the first win of the series. It's Honda that are victorious at Monza for round 1 of the Track World Touring Car Championship. Take a look at the full results. Confirmation there. AMS Mercs in first place. Nathel in second. Noble from 20th on the grid to third. Teammate Brad is there in 4th. Track Crow in 5th. Stats sick. DOR Snake Eye and Howman 2 in 8th and 9th thanks to the Audis throwing themselves off the road. Track Tongue in 9th. 10th is Sean S91. 11th is It's Cream. And BRT Rattlesnake rounds out the top 12. So as with the AMS, this next one is a partial reverse grid. We asked a random number generator to pick a number between 6 and 12. What came up? Number 12. So Rattlesnake and Cream will share the front row. The top 9 also have grip penalties to factor in as well. So will we see the second winner from 2 rounds? Let's find out. So on the grid for race number 2, Rattlesnake on the inside, Creamed on the outside. The lights come on. Lights go out, away we go. Good start there from the 2 Audis. On the right-hand side of the grid, the 3 Audis. Fuller's got a good start there as well. Looks like it's probably going to be an Audi 1-2 as he heads towards the first chicane for the first time. Or get away cleanly there, and it is an Audi 1-2. BMW up there, there's a BMW up there as well. Looks like Birchie's got a good start as well. And Stats has maybe got a good start as well there. Lots of wheel spin. There's a BMW spat off towards the outside. That's the 14 car of Mercs at least. There's a Chevrolet popped up there into second place. Fantastic start there. Third place, the 55 Olin's car, which found the gravel towards the back end of the race. Obviously, the reverse grid playing into their hands there. So it's Audi 1, Chevrolet 2, Audi 3, and a pack of BMWs giving chase behind. You've got Howard Fuller there going down the inside of Track Crow as it's all sideways behind. Looks like there may be a car off the background, but Rattlesnake leads. Taking a look a little bit further back, you've got 2 BMWs round side by side there. It looks like it's Noble there straight away has himself in front of Track Crow as they set off in chase that leading pack. Howard Fuller there at the back of it is their next target as they head through Lesmo 2 and down the main straight towards the Ascari chicane for the first time of Askin. Looking at the back of Noble's car, that's the gap he's got to Howard Fuller in front of him. That's the battle now for 7th position. Crow is still trying to keep on the back of the number 1 plated Audi BMW. As they head through the Ascari chicane, a little bit of curbing, a little bit of track limits maybe going on there straight away. Crow's got a decent run out of the chicane. Will he fancy a move on Noble as they head towards the Parabolica for the first time of Askin? You've also got the Honda there of Cream trying to get into this fight as well. Noble has already lost the place to Crow. Crow's around the outside. Noble's going to try and come round back at him as they head run the break. Crow's run himself wide. That's allowed Noble down the inside. Will that allow Cream to try and get his Honda, make it 3 wide as he head down the main straight? Not quite. The Honda doesn't quite have the drive. These BMWs, though, definitely do. The pair are side by side as they head down the main straight towards the first hairpin to start lap number 2. There's a train of cars behind them. As this, the fight for second place, the RS3 of Sean's now got himself in front of that Chevrolet for third place. Correction, for second place, you've got Bradders in there behind. Not too far away with Howard Fuller in there for company as well. As he head through Curva Grande, the Chevrolet looks like he's going to try and come back at the Audi as they head towards the second chicane, the 346 car. That's not quite worked for him as they head through Lesmo 2. Bradders now's right on the back of that Chevrolet. So that looks like there's going to be a position change. They head down there. Be careful as Fuller might get in on this battle as well. Side by side, the BMW is going to try it around the outside of the Chevrolet. This will be a really brave move if he can make that work. Hard on the brakes. The BMW just about has the legs, but it runs a little bit wide. Will he be able to hold on? Not quite. He's going to take all of the curb there to try and defend against Howard Fuller, but Snake Eye just about has the position saved. Fuller now locked into the slipstream of that BMW. Is he going to fancy a dive down the inside? He's been quite strong on the brakes, heading into Parabolica, but not quite. Bradders, though, is going to try and have a run at Snake Eye in the Chevrolet. The Chevrolet's run a little bit wide. The BMW had a little bit of a slide on there. Bradders now locked straight into the slipstream of that Chevrolet. They are pretty much nose to tail. They're bum drafting themselves as they head down the main straight. These two could, in theory, work together to try and catch up to the pair of RS3s that lead this race. But it doesn't look like that any truce is going to be formed here, as Snake Eyes are starting to defend from Bradders as they head in towards turn number 1. Bradders is down the inside of the BMW, hard on the brakes. Will he be able to get the power down? Just about, as his wheel spin from the Audis in front. The Chevrolet is still defending. That's brought Howard Fuller into this fight as well, but Bradders just about has the place got as they head towards Curva Grande. This has now brought Fuller into this fight. Will Fuller be able to get past Snake Eyes in the Chevrolet? Fuller now lining up his target, that Chevrolet, as they head towards Ascari, using all of the curb to try and get a decent run through there. Maybe fancies a move into the Parabolica. Right in the slipstream now. That Audi is fantastic through the corners, but the Chevrolet just about has the top end speed. You see the Audi's not really closing up, even though he has the slipstream on that Chevrolet. The LFC livery clearly pulling them towards the top of the leaderboard. Heading into Parabolica. Fuller sideways. He's lost it. He's just about got the car scraped into a straight line again, and he just about hangs on. So heading into the first chicane, this is Birchie versus Crow. Birchie's down the inside from a long way back. I don't think Crow saw that move coming. You see in the background you got a couple of cars getting into each other as well, but Birchie, a fantastic dive on Crow to move up a position there. As the pair head towards Curva Grande now, Crow is definitely not going to let Birchie go with this one, though. He's locked back in the slipstream. He's head towards the second chicane. Just about shows the nose towards the outside. This will give him the inside move into the chicane. Just about pulls alongside. It's going to be a late braking move. The pair is side by side. Birchie just gets the overlap. He's going to have to clobber the curbs to try and stay in front sideways from the BMW at the front. That might bring Crow into this battle. So Tung's been in pursuit of the Audi for the last couple of laps. The Audi of the track. Johnny's heading towards the chicane. Johnny's lost it as he heads through. Will that allow Tung to get past? Oh, Johnny doesn't quite keep it out of the gravel. That's let Tung through. He's going to lose a few places there. Merckx has come through. Herbie's come through. You can see Tung's now backing off to let him through, but this is Merckx and Herbie. This is the fight over, I believe, 10th position. So the winner of round 1 really succumbing to the success ballast in race number 2. That Audi S3 looks so much more planted through the corners as they head down the main straight. Herbie's got a decent run there on Merckx. You can see how much of a difference these success ballast, the grip penalties make in this race. He's got a 5% grip penalty on the front and rear of that Honda. That's going to allow the Fanatec-sponsored Audi to go around the outside, potentially of Ascari. Merckx uses all of the curb just to stay in front. The Audi has to back out of it. That allowed Johnny now to have a run at him as they head out of the Ascari chicane and heading down towards Parabolica. Looking back, there's the Oreo Audi that's come straight back into this fight, despite that contact with Tung at the second chicane there. Heading in towards Parabolica. Herbie's run a little bit wide. That's going to allow Johnny down the inside in the Oreo Audi. And he's just about got the place on the Fanatec car. So awesome move there straight away from the Audi of Johnny to get that position back. So Snake Eye's been defending from Fuller. He's got a little bit of space already. Fuller goes really hard on the brakes. They head towards the second chicane. Fuller's really closed up. Snake Eyes touch the gravel. Fuller's going to go down the inside before Les Mode 2. That's moved Fuller up a position. Will Snake Eyes, they'll be able to get that position back? He's been pretty strong, but that Chevrolet's got a really big gap now to try and make up towards the Audi. Snake Eyes now having to defend against the BMW behind. He sent it towards the second chicane. There's contact between the pair of them. That looks like contact between Noble. That looked like Noble was the one that pushed him off there. Riding on board, it is Noble that's made the contact. Heading into the second chicane. Noble just brakes way too late. Gets into the back of the Chevrolet. The pair go off into the runoff area. And that's going to ruin both of their races there. But so Noble now under pressure from Birchie behind the Rockstar BMW as they head down towards the Ascari chicane. The 717 BMW fancies a run at the number 1 car as they head under the old circuit towards the braking zone of the Ascari chicane. Don't count out the Chevrolet that's behind, and that looks like TRAC Crow as well is closing in on that fight as well. A little bit of curb being used by both cars. Slight slide from Noble in the 1 car. That might allow Birchie to have a run. He's moved towards the outside of the corner. Moves to the outside of the straight. The BMW side by side as he head under the Xbox One bridge. And Birchie's got the move done before they head to Parabolica. Is Noble going to fancy a dive down the inside of the Parabolica? Not quite, but Birchie's run a little bit wide. Will that allow Noble through? Not quite. Herbie and Johnny now going at it. These two came to blows in the first race. And you've also got to believe that's Merckx in front as well. So this is a three-way fight over 10th position. Johnny's using all of the curbs, trying to get some positions back after the contact with the Honda beforehand. Herbie, though, is around the outside of Lesmo. One on the Oreo car. The Oreo car, though, just clips the gravel by the looks of it. That's moved him away. So will Herbie fancy finally having a run at Merckx in front? You've got to be careful as the other Chevrolet is having a crack now at Johnny as well as they head down towards the Ascari chicane under the old section of the track. The Honda doesn't quite have the straight line speed advantage on the Audi. Remember, he's also got the grip penalties to factor in as well. Herbie's going to fancy a lunge here. Maybe you've got the Chloe boy in the Chevrolet. He's just recovered from the circuit, so that's going to cause the other guys to check up a little bit. But Merckx is definitely having to soak up some pressure here from Herbie as Herbie is straight into the slipstream of the Honda. But the Honda's going to have a slipstream from, I believe that's Crow and McCloy boy in front. It's a four-car fight now as they head towards Ascari. There's a good chance this could all end up in tears. They're all hard on the brakes. You've got Crow now throwing it down the inside of Merckx, trying to get a position up there. He's on the slipstream of McCloy boy. You've got Herbie on Merckx now finally making the move past the Audi. He's got past the Honda. This is going to be a drag race towards the line. You're looking at Crow. We're looking at Crow. He's lost out to McCloy boy there. He's not quite got the position made. But you've got Herbie now locked into the slipstream of the BMW. You've also got Merckx as well. He's in there as well with the Oreo Audi trying to get into this fight as well as he head in towards the first chicane. Herbie's going to send it down the inside of Crow. Thinks better of it. You've got one of the BMWs. That looks like Stats is off. You've got the Audi off as well in the background. Crow, though, has come out the benefactor in all of this. He's got the position done. Correction, that's not Stats, that's Nathel that's losing a position now. So Crow's around the outside and gets to the front of all of them. Fantastic move from the BMW. Heading into the second chicane, slight lock up from Crow there. Will Nathel be able to come back at him? Not quite. There's contact there. The Hondas all sorts have crossed up behind as they head through the second chicane. Oh, let's try and catch our breath, but no chance. McCloy boy's gone down the inside of Merckx. Merckx is losing positions left, right and centre here in the 158 Honda. He won the first race. He's going to be nowhere near it in the second race. Here is the guy who is going to win the second race, the number 14 car, and that is VRT Rattlesnake, who's going to come across the line, make it two different brands, two different drivers from the first two rounds of the World Touring Car Championship. He comes across the line to take the victory. So let's take a look at the full result. VRT Rattlesnake takes the win ahead of Sean S91 and Howard Fuller in third, making an Audi RS3 1-2-3. SVR Birchie leads across a quartet of BMWs. LK Noble, TRAC Crow and Nathel in 7th. McCrory Boy 8th and Cragadon in 9th. AMS Merckx won the first race, finished the second one in 10th. LMP Stats the BMW in 11th and Puglet Modified in the Honda in 12th. So the final race of the day is a full reverse grid. So if race 2 is anything to go by, this one is going to be absolutely manic. So we head down to the grid for the final time tonight. Lights come on, lights go out, away we go. Good start from Snake Eye, the Chevrolet on the outside of second place. You've got Track John there trying to fight up in there as well. You've got Track Tongue's got a good start as well. These guys are all towards the back of the grid, towards the back of the field, but they're nowhere near as slow as their finishing positions in the last race may lead you to believe. Bradders is there getting involved with the bar BMW, with the bar Honda as well. You've got LMP Stats getting into that fight as well there. And the bar car is just about fending off the Oreo Audi as they head through Curva Grande. So it's the bar car that's in second place. But you've got a massive gap now to Snake Eye, who's at the front of this field. Fantastic start there for the Chevrolet from second position. He's managed to get away from the bar cream soda car, as he's really the cork in a bottle there. The 290 now has SVR Bradders behind for companies. All sorts of sideways. Oh, he's clipped the gravel. That's allowed Bradders to get through there. There's a boarding gone flying there, so something's kicked off towards the back of the field. But you've now got the bar car is falling down the order. Track John's going down the inside. That's the move for third position already. Looking at Track Tongue and the Simpson car. He's got Ingram around the outside. Contact there between the bar car, and it looks like Track Ingram there has had a bit of contact as well. So the pair of those are off. That's their day run. Heading towards Curva Grande. This is what happened at the back of the field. Ron Board and McCloy Boy looking at Howard Fuller, the touring car driver. Throws it into the second chicane, locks up, smashes the barrier. That's going to be the Audi damage towards the back of the field. and that's probably going to lead him coming through the pits. So there's a Mercedes slow as well, so it wasn't just the one car where it was kicking off, it was two. So LMP Stats, Herbie and TRAC Tongue going at it now. This is the fight over third position. Lots of cars getting involved there as well. Some of these slower guys getting into that fight as well. You've got Merckx as well, race 1 winner, has managed to come through the field after finishing 10th in that first race. He's up a few positions already, so maybe going for a second win of the day. Become the first double winner of the championship so far. As they're heading towards Parabolica, you've got BMW and Audi side by side. Stats has gone down the inside of Herbie there. The Audi washes out wide. The 53 car, the Fanatec car, doesn't quite have the grip of the BMW to hold it. Side by side as they head down the main straight. Stats just about losing out there. The Audi just has a little bit more top end speed. As you can see that Tongue is now right on the back of TRAC John in front. Don't count Merckx out as well. He's closing right up. He's got a double draft off the pair of these cars. Herbie heading in towards the second chicane in 4th place. Merckx is trying to go around the outside of LMP Stats. Stats is just about hanging on, but Merckx has that position. He's just about got the BMW covered. Now they're heading towards Curva Grande, the 99 car versus the 158. As they head through Curva Grande, the BMW is just in front of the Honda. The smaller BMW cutting a smaller gap. This is the leader though, the 346. That's DOR Snake Eyes. He's had a fantastic run to run away at the field so far. Heading into the second chicane though, just cut the wheel on the grass. He's in the barriers. He's done a Howard Fuller. He's binned it the same place as Howard Fuller. Bradders takes the lead. Will he come back? Will he come back out in second place? He must have damage in that Chevrolet. It'd be amazing if he doesn't. But it looks like the car's all pointing in the right direction. It doesn't look like it's doing anything daft on the suspension, and the car sounds okay. He might have just about got away with no damage there. If he's done that, that'll be ridiculously lucky. He could have just thrown away a podium. He's already thrown away a win. Will he be able to hold on to second place now? So on board now with Merckx, heading in towards the first chicane. You've got Tongue and Herbie. You've also got the fight for second place going on in front. So this is the fight for 4th between Tongue, Herbie, Merckx and Stats now. The Honda just about holding on from the Fanatec Audi. The Audi though looks towards the inside of Curva Grande. Will he be able to get the move done? The side by side as they head through the flat out section. The Simpsons exhaust car just about holding on. He's just got the edge on him. Now they're going to head in towards the braking zone. Will the Honda be able to hold it on the brakes? The pair is still side by side. The Audi thinks about going for the escape route but doesn't quite do it. He's now going to have to defend from Merckx, the second of the Hondas behind. As you can see, Snake Eye now just has a small gap. Heading into Parabolica now, you've got Merckx is still on the back of this battle. These guys are still not letting up. Stats has dropped off a little bit here, but Merckx is now going down the inside of Herbie. He's run a little bit wide, coming through Parabolica. Will the power of that Honda be able to drag him past the Audi? The smart thing here would be to try and lock into the slipstream of Tongue in front, but Herbie's got the slipstream, so he might just about have that position defended. They're side by side, they're pretty much touching as they head down that straight on board with Merckx, heading into the first chicane. He's already got the move done. He's managed to get past the Audi. So Merckx moving up a position into 5th place, sorry. His next target is Tongue in 4th. Stats now has a clear shot at Herbie. Merckx is going for the move already. He's going to take the move into Parabolica. Not Parabolica, Curva Grande. Merckx, the race 1 winner, finished 10th in race 2. He's now moved up to 4th position. He's in with a shot of a podium here if he keeps up this pace and gets through the field as quickly as he has been doing. That Honda looks absolutely planted through the chicanes. He's running all the curb and that car's not getting unsettled, unlike the cars behind. You can see Herbie's now going for a pass on Tongue. Tongue now dropping down the order. He just clips the grass a little bit. That allows the Audi to get down the inside. Does it? Oh, mate, he's just clipped the gravel. He's just off there. So Tongue now just lost 2 positions. He's lost out to Herbie. He's lost out to LMP Stats, the BMW behind. Stats looks like he's going to have a run on the Audi in front. Is this the battle over second place? John versus Snake Eye, the Chevrolet versus the Audi. You can see the gap that Bradders has already, but don't count out Merckx in 4th place. He's closing in on this battle. So the 9 car, if he wants to try and take second position, cement second position, he needs to try and get clear of this Chevrolet as quickly as possible. That Chevrolet does have decent top end speed. He just moves over a little bit to defend from the Parabolica, goes back to the racing line. He's taking a nice tight line through there, trying to stop the front washing out, trying to stop the Audi from getting the overlap, getting the undercut and trying to move into the first chicane. That Audi now needs to slot into the chicane, into this slipstream. Otherwise, he might not be able to have a run at the chicane. He moves over a slight bit. He's got a little bit of a draft. Snake Eye moves over to defend. He's running that Chevrolet down the middle of the track. So if he wants to get past, John's going to have to go the long way round. The Chevrolet's taking a very defensive line here. John, late on the brakes, throws it towards the outside. Will he be able to get the move? The nose is just on the inside there. Doesn't quite get the nose. Doesn't quite get the power down there. Doesn't make the move stick. So Herbie versus Stats. Herbie trying to defend from the BMW, heading into the second chicane. The BMW shows nose down the inside. Doesn't quite have the power down. Isn't able to get past the Audi. Look in front though. Merckx is right on the back of track. John and the Oreo Audi. The pair are nose to tail, heading through Lesmo 1. John runs a little bit wide on the exit at Lesmo 1. Will Merckx fancy dive into Lesmo 2? Yes, he does. He's gone for it. Uses all the curb. He's got up into third place. Now it's his turn to try and have a crack at the Chevrolet. John's coming back around the outside as he heads towards the Ascari 9 car versus the 158. Merckx has won a race this season so far. The Oreo car hasn't won one yet. He's trying to fight for his first podium of the series. Trying to go around the outside of the Ascari chicane. Merckx has the position covered. Now it's his turn to chase after that Chevrolet. So Stats versus Herbie. You've got Noble in this fight as well now. The number 1 plate trying to get into this one. Stats is taking a nice tight line through the second Lesmo. He's got the run on the Audi. Isn't quite able to get past. Drops back into the slipstream. Definitely looking at a move in towards the Ascari chicane, but the BMW behind. Noble's trying to close into this one. The pair of them nose to tail. The first BMW is going to go around the outside. A little bit of contact there with the Audi. Doesn't quite get the power down. Looks like Herbie's just about going to hang on. Noble throws it across the curb. The pair are side by side. Noble got the power down a little bit better, but the 99 car of Stats just hangs on. The pair are going to have to work together now to try and get on the back of that Audi again as they head towards Parabolica. They're not going to fight each other at this point. They are going to work together. They are going to try and catch up towards that Audi in front. Pair of BMWs. These cars are mechanically the same. The only difference are the setup and the drivers that are in them. Firing down the main straight towards the first chicane. They've closed back up now towards the back of the Audi. The Audi goes wide into the second chicane, has to run over the curb. That's going to allow Stats to have a move down the inside. Doesn't quite get the power down. Noble's now going to have a crack around the outside of Stats into Lesmo 1. Things better of it. Stats has got a nose in front of the Audi. Not quite anymore. The Audi comes across the cover. Will this be a move into Lesmo 2? The nose gets shown, the door gets slammed by the Audi as you head down the back straight towards the Ascari chicane. Looking at TRAC Tongue, who's got the battle in front of him. He's going to be looking to pick the pieces up. If this all goes pear-shaped for the guys in front, the BMW is going to try the same move. He tried a lap ago. This time gets the move done, gets the power down, makes the move stick. The Audi, though, gets across the curbs and gets the position back again. This is now a four-way fight. These guys love to battle against each other, but it's bringing even more cars into this battle. If they carry on, they're going to have another BMW into this one as well. Stats, though, down the inside of Parabolica. He finally gets the move stuck. Noble's going to try and follow there. Looks like Herbie's going to lose a few positions out of this one. Noble doesn't quite get the power down. Herbie's just defended that position. Stats now finally gets the move on Herbie in that Audi. But the Audi now has to watch out for the one-plated BMW of LK Noble. He's already alongside. He's going to fancy a move into the first chicane. You've also got TRAC Tongue who we're riding on board with. He's probably going to try and pick the pieces up if this does go pear-shaped. Noble's down the inside. He's going to try and take the pair of them. Contact there between Stats. Herbie gets a little bit... Herbie gets into the back and Stats is off. Herbie's back into position. Tongue is through. He's picked up the pieces. Awesome drive in there to pick the pieces up. The Fells now moved themselves up behind this battle as well. So the fight over second place is going right down to the wire. Merckx has now got a couple of corners to try and get his way past Snake Eye in the Chevrolet in front. He's throwing it all over the curbs. He's trying to get himself up into that second position, cement his championship lead. The Honda locked into the slipstream of the Chevrolet in front. Heading down towards Parabolica, the Chevrolet's running a really defensive line. He moves over to take the racing line though. Hard on the brakes, the pair of them. The Chevrolet runs nice and tight. The Honda tries to get past. Maybe a little bit of bump and run there. The Honda's side by side with him. It's a run towards the start-finish line. Merckx has got himself in front. That's Merckx up to second position. Fantastic move there from the Honda as they head towards the start-finish line. Merckx just has the advantage, secures second place there. Ahead of Snake Eye as they head in towards the first chicane. Snake Eye moves out to try and take a lunge into the first chicane. Doesn't quite get the brakes on hard enough. He has a look, just shows the nose. Bit of a slide on there and the Honda steals second position. Merckx now upper place. He takes second position. No one, though, able to get in front of this guy. Bradders, SVR Bradders, comes towards the start-finish line. 3 different winners. Again, it's 3 different manufacturers. We've had a Honda, we've had an Audi, now we have a BMW coming across the line to take the win for round 3 of the World Touring Car Championship. Taking a full look at the results, Bradders seals first place, second place is Merckx, Chevrolet finishes third, 3 different manufacturers on the podium. TRAC John 4th, Herbie 5th, TRAC Tung 6th, Nathel in 7th, LMP Stats in 8th, Noble 9th, Crayon on 10th, Macaulay Boy in 11th, and TRAC Johnny rounds out the top 12. So what has that done to the championship? Well, AMS Merckx in the Honda leads from a pack of 5 BMWs, headed by Nathel in second on 132 points. LK Noble and SVR Bradders are both tied on 130. The TRAC Crow just a 3 ahead of LMP Stats in 6th. 7th is the RS3 of Sean S91 and 122. DOR Snake Eyes and VRT Rattlesnake are tied on 116 from 8th and 9th. Howard Fuller is just 2 points back on 114 in 10th. TRAC Tung is at 11th on 113, and rounding out the top 12 is Macaulay Boy in the Chevrolet on 112. Next time we see the pro drivers is going to be at the Hockenheim National Circuit. Stay tuned, don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more.